A few days ago, I did a bed bucking Hall of Shame entry on LeBron James for making the comment of we are our own worst enemy when it came to the situation involving Tyre Nichols. Now, fast forward a couple days later, and I'm doing a bed bucking entry, actually not an entry, a second entry on Al Slick Back Slick Tongue Sharpton for making some of the same type of comments that LeBron James made. As a matter of fact, I think I even said or gave an example of the comment he made in that LeBron James video before I even learned about this. And this actually came out shortly after LeBron James said what he said. So, LeBron James said, we are our own worst enemy. Well, Al Sharpton had to follow up with the black cops killing or being involved with the killing of Tyre Nichols is a disgrace to our race. I kept telling you, if I get wind that you say something like this, you are getting entered into the bed bucking or the Blacarian, because a Blacarian could say it too. Hall of Shame. I am sick and tired of hearing that line, the one LeBron James said, whoever, I don't care who it is. If you say these lines, you are getting an entry or re-entry like he is. This will be his second one. And I think I'm convinced myself that anytime I do a video on Al Sharpton on my channel, it's going to be a bed bucking video. Like, I don't think it could be any for anything else. Unless it's a triple P, of course. But, that day will eventually come. So let's see what he had to say. Civil rights activist Al Sharpton on Saturday accused the 5 black Memphis police officers charged with beating Tyre Nichols to death of being a quote-unquote disgrace to our race. Again, I'm going to say something in here and echo it the way that I did when it came to LeBron James. Did the Asian community say you're a disgrace to our race or we are our own worst enemy when those 2 mass shootings happened back to back just a little over a week ago? Did that occur? Does that happen with any other community? White, the South of the Borderian, the Asian community, the Native American community, whoever else that's out there where crimes are committed in proximity. Do they ever say that? Because I don't know. I don't think they do. And if they do, they don't say it publicly. We are the only ones that say that. No, scratch that. They. And when I say they, I'm referring to the they that falls into the category of the person that is on your screen. They as in your Al Sharptons and your LeBron Jameses. And anyone else to say it, because I'm not going to say it. Because you're not going to have, because see, when you say something like that, we get lumped in with that element, just like we don't like that POC or that people of color, because then we get lumped in with their foolishness. No. They did what they did. Let it be on them. They are just a disgrace. To say that say that they're a disgrace to our race, that means that now we're just all just savages and we're all going out there committing these kind of crimes. That actually gives or some kind of validity as much lies as he told to that Charlie Cheon that me and Rob at Blacklight Revelations 2 had to break down like a fraction. He goes on to say, do you think because you were black, we wouldn't say nothing? Fumed Sharpton while speaking at a rally to more than 100 people at his National Action Network headquarters in Harlem. Did you think that you would hide behind your blackness? End quote. Now, my thing is this. He wasn't wrong when he said, do you think that because you were black, we wouldn't say anything? Or do you think that you would have been able to hide behind your blackness? Now, those 2 points right there, I actually agree with him with. Because to think that we were not going to say anything just because they were black, that's a full-on lie. Those white supremacists, however, wish that we wouldn't say anything because then they could say, oh, where's BLM? And I actually saw a few of them say that. I'm like, why would you call them BLM? Most black people don't even mess with BLM like that anyway, but they keep bringing it up. I find it very interesting, though, when these mass shootings happen and they're at the forefront of that, we need to go and ask them, where's ALM at? All Lives Matter, since they wanted to peddle that. And notice they don't talk about that anymore at all because they knew it was a farce from the beginning. But, just to be petty and troll them, the next time something like that happens and they are at the forefront of it, let's ask them, where's ALM at? He goes on to say, I want to say loud and clear that we will fight black cops, white cops, any color cops that commit crimes against us. He added, your blackness ain't going to stop us from fighting you. These 5 cops not only disgrace their badges, they disgrace our race. And he messes up again. They are the disgrace. Do not throw them onto us. Cause you know what else that sounds like? Well, please, I hope they're messing up my image of me getting in closer proximity to whiteness. I was this close. And then these Negroes had to mess it up. Now I got to go back to square one. That's what it sounds like he's saying. Sharpton also maintained the cops would not have been so aggressive with a white man. These black guys thought they could get away with doing it to a black guy, the Reverend said. You couldn't get away with that, with doing that in Tennessee to a white guy. You'll find out you ain't getting away with it doing it to a black guy. I'm gonna need Al Sharpton to speak a little bit more coherent, because the fact that I had to read that in the way that I did make me sound like I'm slow. Disturbing body cam footage released Friday shows Nichols being beaten. I'm not gonna rehash that. And I thought that was the end of the article. Then it goes on to say about I'm trying not to rehash all the details. I just want to stick to the topic at hand. And that's pretty much it. The rest is just them rehashing everything. And that's another thing that's getting me too, is that every time have y'all ever noticed that whenever there's an article put out when there's an atrocity that happens to a black person, whenever they get done, I guess, talking about who they're addressing, like in this article, it was addressing Al Sharpton and those blasphemous comments he made, they have to go and rehash the detail by detail of what occurred. I'm like, we don't need a rehash. We already get it. We get it. They tend to love to do that a lot when it comes to us. Like, we don't need a reminder. We already got out of this we need. Unless it's some kind of new update, do not throw that in there. That's good for when the trial happens, but we aren't on trial. Most likely we won't be on the jury either. Definitely, unless, because I don't live in Memphis, so I couldn't be on the jury. But back to Al Sharpton. And like I said, this is not just Al Sharpton, but it's all these these holier than thou type of black folks who have wealth and status. Stop saying we are our own worst enemy. Stop saying that they are a disgrace to our race, though they are just a disgrace to themselves. Many would say that Al Sharpton is a disgrace, and I'm sure he's probably heard that over the years. Now, whether he decided to internalize that or not is completely on him. But the fact of the matter is, if they are a disgrace, let them be a disgrace to themselves. They're not disgrace to all of us, to the point that we are all put and labeled into that box of being a disgrace. I would like to know, does Al Sharpton feel like he's a disgrace? Let's hypothetically say he was leaning on to something with that disgrace to our race line. Are you going to throw yourself into that category? All I'm saying is this: birds of a feather flock together.